In this video I'm going to show you how you can quickly sketch graphs. So given this weird graph here, you have no idea what it looks like, so let's investigate. So insert 0, 1 and negative 1. Most of the time these are easy to work out. So let's put 0 into the x. Let's see where it jumps to. So e to the power of 0 is 1, and then you've got plus, and then put 0 into here. E to the power of 0 is 1, so really it jumps to a half. So when x is 0, it will jump to a half. So you know it's going to cross here. Let's put 1 into here. So that would be e over 1 plus e. So this is, well, this here, these two numbers are exactly the same, and then you add a small amount, so it's going to be a number, it's going to be a fraction less than 1, so it's going to be below 1 slightly. So let's just guess it's somewhere around here, and then let's put negative 1 into there. So that will then become e to the power of negative 1 over 1 plus e to the power of negative 1. We don't understand what it means to have a power of a negative, so let's jump to 1 over e plus 1 over e. This thing here, I can work it out. It will be a number, it will be a constant, but it's too much work. Let's not bother working it out. Let's just leave it for the time being, because when you realize that it consumes too much time to work out, let's not bother. So let's not bother investigating at negative 1 the minute that you detect it's too complicated. So let's leave that. Now that will take us to here. Hang on. So we know so far that that when x is 0, it will jump to a half. When x is 1, it will jump to slightly less than 1. So now let's investigate what happens as x heads towards infinity. So what happens when, let's say you're at 1 million, say, when x is 1 million. When x is 1 million. So if you look at the e to the power of x graph, it looks like this. 1 million, e to the power of x will be massive. It will be massive. So let's just imagine this is 1 billion, and then here you would have 1 plus 1 billion. It would be such a big number. When x is 1 million, this will be much bigger than 1 billion. But let's just imagine this a massive number, and then you plus 1. You see, here you've got a big number. Well, at the bottom here you've got a very big number, and then you're adding 1. If you have $1 billion and someone gives you $1, this 1 here is really irrelevant. It's insignificant in comparison to this 1 billion. So you can imagine this whole thing as being 1 billion divided by 1 billion. So you know that when x is very big, it's going to hover around 1, because 1 billion divided by 1 billion is going to be roughly 1. Don't forget you got plus 1, so the denominator will be bigger than the numerator, so you know it's going to be the underside of 1. So 1 would be somewhere around here, so it's going to be slightly less than 1, but you know it's going to head towards 1. So in short, hang on. In short, the limit is actually, we say the limit is 1, but it's going to approach 1 from the underside. So we know the graph is going to do this. And now let's investigate what happens when x is very negative big. Let's imagine 1000. So when x is 1000, negative 1000, e to the power of 0, e to the power of negative 1000, this number here would be very small. So for us to solve this, imagine this as being a very small number, because e to the power of negative 1000 is going to be a very small number. So imagine this to be, I don't know what it is. Let's just imagine it's a really small number, and then you've got 1 plus a really small number. That's exactly the same as the above. So here you've got a very small number divided by 1 point something. So you know that this thing here is going to be, it's going to head towards 0, and it's going to be positive, because e to the power of x will never be negative, never negative here. So this thing here will actually head towards 0, and it will approach 0. It's going to approach 0 from above. So it's going to hover above 0 here. So so you know the graph. Well, you can guess that the graph will look something like this. Because it must cross here, it must cross here. We can, if we want to, investigate this point if we want to, but let's not bother. And then looking at this, will hang on, let me tidy this up. Will this thing ever head into the negative realm? Will it ever head into the negative realm? In fact, will it be equal to 0? So let's put 0 into the y and let's investigate. Let's put 0 into the y. Will it cross the x-axis at all? So put 0 into the y and investigate. E to the power of x over. So you've got this bubble here. Multiply both sides by this bubble. So when you get this bubble times 0, it will be 0. You see, this thing here will e to the power of x will never be 0. It will never be 0. So for you to solve this, it's impossible for you to solve this, meaning that the graph will never cross over the x-axis. In fact, it never crosses into the negative realm, because this thing here is never negative, this thing here is never negative, so you know it's never going to enter the negative realm. So the overall graph will look something like this. Okay.